Hey guys, it's just a reminder to check out VPNtierlist.com. It's a collection of all my ratings on the channel, and you're going to find lots of helpful information here on how to choose a VPN. Anyways, back to the video. Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about pretty much the kind of going into the end of 2019, what the final 5 VPNs are going to look like. So lately I've been doing a little bit of adjustments here and there. Of course, throughout the year and since the reviews have been done, I started kind of doing reviews in this format around kind of March, April, around there, and that's pretty much where all these reviews are going to come from. So I'm going to be talking about my top 5 VPNs as well as pros and cons for each one, so you might get a good idea of where to start looking for a VPN service at the end of 2019 and coming into 2020. Alright guys, so let's first talk about TorGuard VPN. Now, TorGuard VPN is pretty unique on this list because it's probably one of the best VPNs for several reasons. It's super affordable, mainly due to good discount codes. Now, if you see someone saying, oh, TorGuard's expensive, oh, don't use TorGuard, they're probably just kind of shill for another VPN provider and haven't really taken a look at the pricing here. Now, TorGuard admittedly could slash the pricing without promo codes, but you know, this is the way they do it and this is the way it works, and for the end consumer it doesn't really matter. So 50% off all these prices is pretty standard for TorGuard VPN discount codes. You use my codes, TomSpark, for 50% off of the main kind of VPN packages, or code Netflix for 50% off the streaming bundle, which is going to end up around $10 to $11 a month or $60 a year. You can also use other codes out there that also give 50% off, so these codes aren't unique or special per se, or limited or discounted only for a specific time. So in that reason, I think it's pretty consumer friendly. But besides that, you get 8 simultaneous connections. They've improved that this year. It's of course no logs. They have tons of servers. They work really good for torrenting with some of the best speeds. The company is really solid as well, and they have pretty good customer support, sometimes even replying in a matter of minutes, and most of the time they have pretty good live chat available. In terms of the cons, some people think that TorGuard has long overdue been for a little bit of a refresh in the terms of the design of their application. Some people think it just looks kind of ugly, but most people will agree that the security features and customization is still top notch and it's pretty easy to use. Some people don't like how TorGuard's based in the United States of America. However, for me, that's not so much of a problem because the company is so transparent. You can find the CEO on LinkedIn. You can find information about the company. I'd rather prefer a company based within the US if it's going to be transparent, not just some kind of private shell company based in Panama or the British Virgin Islands or something like that, where you can't really verify anything about the company. You don't really know anything about the company. I'd prefer a company like this where it's very transparent and you can verify pretty much everything. Not only that, there's no mandatory data retention laws in the United States, so it's really overblown by people who are kind of conspiracy theory kind of people. Besides that though, not really too much wrong with TorGuard. It's been the #1 VPN on the channel and my website for a number of years, getting better and better every year. Next up, guys, is going to be AirVPN. Now, AirVPN has kind of had a weird history on the channel. Sometimes I really liked it, sometimes I didn't like it. However, giving it another review this year, I decided it's going to be a really solid VPN for most people. Why is that? Well, it's super affordable. As you can see here on the side, it's only going to be $7 to $8 a month, around $54 a year, so it has a good price. It's got 5 simultaneous connections. It has pretty good speeds, not as good as TorGuard, but pretty good speeds for most everything. It does have some streaming compatibility. It doesn't work with all the streaming services like TorGuard and some of the other options. However, what makes AirVPN special is that it is open source, so the application is very secure, very transparent, and designed pretty well. It may look a little outdated in some aspects, and the website may look a little outdated. However, the company behind AirVPN is super solid. They're very transparent with how they decide, what security technologies to implement, how they handle marketing and stuff like that. AirVPN has publicly come out on the forum saying they do no paid reviews anywhere, so that makes it pretty rare in the VPN industry. Most of the VPNs out there that are super popular, IPVanish, NordVPN, CyberGhost, ExpressVPN, they're paying for reviews. They're spending a lot of money on marketing, and that's not going to be the case with AirVPN. So in my opinion, it's definitely one of the most reputable and solid VPNs you could go for. In terms of the cons, like I said, it could be a little bit outdated in terms of its kind of interface, the application. It doesn't really have a mobile app for iOS, but it does have one for Android. But besides that, it's a pretty solid VPN provider. Third on the list is going to be ExpressVPN. Now, ExpressVPN is probably one of the most popular options out there alongside NordVPN. Now, there are some things I don't like about it. I don't really like how it's based in the British Virgin Islands, and it has, company bases in Hong Kong as well. The company is kind of spread out worldwide, which makes it kind of hard to pinpoint, where it really is. It has anonymous leadership, which means you don't really know anything about this company if you could really trust them or not. So that's one reason it doesn't have as good of a reputation. Not only that, but ExpressVPN is one of the most expensive VPNs in the industry at $13 a month or $100 a year and $60 for 6 months. So it costs just as much for 6 months as some other VPNs do for an entire year. So it's very expensive. You can almost get 3 months of TorGuard for the price of 1 month with ExpressVPN. However, that said, ExpressVPN is definitely probably one of the most solid streaming providers alongside TorGuard VPN and some other options on this list. It's really good for Netflix because you can kind of hop around different locations and even access different versions of Netflix around the world. However, one caveat you are going to find with ExpressVPN is that you're going to have to talk to live chat and figure out which servers work. It's kind of like a trial and error because some servers work 1 month, some servers are blocked the next month. So it's kind of like a fluctuating state of compatibility with streaming services. But usually if you spend your time and test the different servers, you should be able to get it working for pretty much all the streaming services. So it is good in that aspect. The application is also very easy to use, and it's also one of the fastest VPNs as well. Live chat is also pretty strong here, and overall the company's reputation isn't too bad besides just being super anonymous and kind of using a shell company, I think. So that's kind of ExpressVPN for you. Now, VIPRE is another solid VPN provider. It has a very easy to use application. It works with all the streaming services without any hassle at all. It's got a pretty good reputation as well. It only has 5 simultaneous connections like ExpressVPN and AirVPN. TorGuard has 8, but 5 is still pretty good. In a lot of ways, VIPRE kind of feels a little bit standard. They have pretty good support. They have pretty good overall kind of security on their application and stuff like that. One area the VIPRE kind of suffers a little bit is the speeds. It's not the fastest VPN by any stretch of the imagination. Mainly seems to be an issue for US people. It might work a little bit better for people outside the US. The company is pretty friendly though, and I do like, the people who run it. Talk with one of the guys on Discord a fair amount, ask him questions, and he usually responds pretty good. So they are probably going to take care of you as a customer. Anyways, a pretty solid VPN, definitely one of the better ones out there. Only thing about VIPRE, it's a little bit more expensive than some of the other options that I'm used to. So it's kind of got also a weirdly plan here. It's got $10 a month at $13 a month for like the full plan. So it's a little bit annoying. They kind of upped the price there, and I kind of docked them that in the review. And they also have some sales going on. So it's just kind of something to look out for. Might be a little bit more expensive. IBVPN is a VPN I didn't really look at too much before this year, but it has a lot of good strengths. So what's special about IBVPN? Well, what I liked about it in my review is that it's a pretty good price. You could get it at around $60 for 1 year, and this is going to include pretty much everything you need. Now, if you don't need the proxy, Tor, or double VPN, you can actually get the cheaper price here, which is going to be like $37 a year. So it's kind of interesting. It gives you options here. Now, the thing is that it's kind of a little bit confusing deciding which one you want to pick. So I gave them a little bit of a dock there, but I do like how they're giving you some cheap pricing if you want it. Cool thing about IBVPN is it does work with some of the streaming services out there. It works with Netflix, Hulu, and Prime Video, which is pretty cool. It's a VPN that has a pretty good reputation, and I haven't really had that many complaints with it. Definitely not as popular as some of the other options on this list. And I wouldn't use it as like my go-to VPN. I don't really use it as a daily driver, and I haven't really tested it as much as some of the other options on here. But some people really like IBVPN. So if you haven't heard of it and you don't really like any of the other options, this could be worth checking out as well. Anyways, guys, those are my final thoughts on the top 5 VPNs, kind of rounding out the end of 2019. This year has been really good. We've reviewed around 40 VPNs. There's been some really bad VPNs. There's been some really good VPN providers. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. My total rankings for this year. Are you using one of my top 5 VPNs? If so, which one? Do you like it? What don't you like about it? Love to hear from you guys. And I'll see you again on the next video very soon.